Happy Saturday, everybody, and welcome to Tech Only Talk. I think this is a great forum where we can share some information. You guys can ask questions because it's really all about your questions today. I have a couple things that I want to go over with people, but that is about it. So we have some people coming in. You guys can hear me okay, I'm guessing? My little thing is moving up and down, so it looks like I'm broadcasting that okay. Yep, okay, great. Crypto Raw says yes. Hey there, Crypto Raw. Oh, Crypto Raw S, maybe that's someone else that's close to Crypto Raw. So a couple things that I wanted to go over because this is a question that I get time and time again. And I think it's because it's kind of explained in some areas, but it's not explained in others. And that is some of the coins that live or should be living in wallets. Kind of like the Ethereum network has ERC20s. There are going to be more and more blockchains that also handle additional coins or tokens. And one of them is one of my favorites, one of the ones I like, and that's FLM. FLM resides in, or should reside, and can be sent to your NEO address. So anybody with FLM should be sending their FLM to a NEO wallet. If you have a ledger or Trezor, I highly recommend putting in a hardware wallet, although I don't think the Trezor will work with the Neon wallet and or the O3 wallet. And what you're going to want to do is create an account using your ledger in the Neon wallet. When you have that address there, you can hand that off to Caleb Brown. You can have it go to any exchange that you've purchased the coins on, and you can send it to the NEO wallet. Now, one special thing with the NEO wallet, any NEO wallet, when you hold NEO, you earn gas, and it's not that you have to stake it, kind of like ADA. It's not that you have to do anything different except for hold it. Sorry, Jenna just said something to me in Telegram, and I thought it was funny. So all you're going to need to do is hold the NEO in the wallet, and you'll earn gas. And you need to have gas in your NEO wallet to move things around. So for everybody out there that has FLM, and that's all you have, and you're going to receive it from Caleb Brown, or you're going to receive it from another exchange, and you have it in your wallet, if you're going to want to send that out, you're going to need to have some gas. Well, there's a couple different ways that you can get gas. You can buy gas directly. I don't know what it's trading today at, but it's much higher than it was a little while ago. Or you can get some NEO in your wallet. And with NEO, holding it in your wallet, you have to hold it. It can't be held at Caleb Brown because they will get all that gas that is created from holding that NEO. You can hold it in your wallet and you'll get little drips of gas. And with that gas, then you can send the tokens that are held in the NEO wallet. So there's been some of that confusion on, where does FLM go? And it goes in the NEO wallet. There are a couple others, and they're going to be more and more. Now that Cardano, now that Theta, well, let's go back to that one. It's very similar to T-Fuel. T-Fuel goes in the Theta wallet. So when you send your T-Fuel to the Theta wallet, that's exactly like sending the FLM to your NEO wallet. It's pretty much the same thing. And as these blockchains have smart contracts and they expand, they are going to have more and more tokens reside in them, which is a great thing because Ethereum is horrible as far as speed, reliability meaning that I've gotten a few ERC20s stuck because I didn't have enough gas, because I didn't look and I did not pay attention to what was automatically being set for me, and the gas price was too low. I've gotten 2 tokens stuck on the Ethereum network because I did not pay attention, which is my fault, on how much gas I was putting in to send that token. And Ethereum is just out of hand with the fees. For anybody that's been around, you'll remember that when you would send ERC20s, you would spend, like $2 and be like, it cost me $2 to send, some ERC20s on the Ethereum network. Now it's $20. So, Ethereum's really pricing themselves out, and other blockchains are going to step in and say, we will do it for you faster and cheaper. So, watch that coming up on the different blockchains out there that are implementing smart contracts. The other thing that seems to be coming up now that we may be headed toward selling some of our cryptos, hopefully, knock on wood, this fall, as the prices rise, is that people are noticing that they have older ERC20s that have been converted into tokens on their own mainnet, like Wax. Wax was an ERC20 that then they went and converted over to their own mainnet. EOS was like that. Who was the, IOST, I believe, was the same thing. If you have some old ERC20s that have not been converted, some blockchains will allow that, some blockchains won't. It really just depends on the blockchain and if they have a bridge to their mainnet. And what a bridge basically is allowing two separate blockchains to talk to one another. So I know with the Wax token, I've tried to get them to say if they were ever going to open up or reopen the bridge from Wax ERC20s to the Wax mainnet, which is kind of running on the foundation of an EOS network. So far, they haven't said no, but they haven't said yes. They've said maybe we'll do it. So if you have some old ERC20s that have been already converted to a new network or their own main net, take a look, do a Google, see if there's a bridge, and just if there's not a bridge that's been open, then just keep your ears out. I wouldn't say they're worth nothing. They most likely probably will end up being worth nothing, but there is a possibility that a bridge could be opened up, and then you could go from the Ethereum network to whatever main net is out there. So really, besides those two things, I'll maybe talk about some privacy things toward the end, but let's go through some of your questions and let me see what we can, let me read a couple things. Okay, Mike F asks, do you have a safe way of getting your BCH ABC eCash fork from BCH? Yes, Jetta Red has sent me a doc and I will post that on the .net site sometime this weekend, or actually, I'm not going to promise this weekend, sometime next week that I will get that up. Okay, let me go through. Okay, yep, the next one, do you already have a method how to extract BCH, ABC from Ledger and then claim the eCash? Yeah, that is in the doc. Let's see. Good morning, Igor. Okay. Hi, happy Saturday. Could you, and this is from HGB, could you let us know the best way to store Casper tokens securely and what is the best practice for sending coins for selling to Caleb? Do you use the intermediary wallet like Exodus? Casper right now is sitting in an exchange. I don't know what exchange it's sitting in. Someone offered to buy me 1 Ethereum worth of Casper, and I said, sure. And he is holding it for me because Casper's Ledger app has not been released yet. I know, doing a little bit of research, Casper has an app that they've released to Ledger, but Ledger has not officially approved it. And when that is approved, then I will take possession of Casper and put it in my ledger. But right now, I don't want one more wallet besides something that will be secured by Ledger to maintain. Excuse me, I don't want to have another set of 12 words, 24 words, 18 words, a passphrase, mnemonic. I just want to simplify my life. So it's going to remain on the exchange until there is a safe place that I can take it into my life. And so, really it depends, following the second part of the question, how you're going to be sending the coins to Caleb Brown. It depends on where they reside. Who knows? Maybe if it resides on that exchange and they don't get the app out for the ledger, maybe it'll just be liquidated back into Ethereum or USDC right on that exchange. But I've been waiting for the Casper app to be out. Every time Ledger releases a new version, that's when the new apps are also downloaded to your computer. And when there is a new release, that's when I check to see if there's a new app that I've been waiting for. With the last version that was just released a couple days ago, the Neo 3.0 was released, or N3. And so now there's two apps for Neo. There's the older app that'll handle 2.0, and then there's the Neo 3.0 app that will handle the 3.0. I did get, hold on, Jay sent me this. Jay contacted, let's see, he contacted Jeff over at Caleb Brown, asking, if he could liquidate Neo 3.0 today, would they be ready for that? And his response was, we are offering it once it has been listed for trading in most places in Q4. So once it's available, we will be offering entry and exit liquidity. So what that means is, if you wanted to liquidate your Neo 3 today at Caleb Brown, you could not. So when they offer that is going to be when it's listed for trading in most places, sometime in the fourth quarter. So that's why I'm holding off on converting my Neo 2.0 to 3.0, because they don't have that yet in place. And it's not that they can't handle it, but they can't get liquidity from other providers to do that trading. So, you can convert when you want to. I will be doing a conversion video, but I am not going to release that video until Caleb Brown says, yes, we can for sure do it, because a lot of people are not going to listen to this broadcast. They're just going to see that a video's been released, and they're not going to really pay attention to the thing that says down below. Don't do this until your exchange can handle Neo 3.0. So I'm just going to wait a little bit, because it doesn't make sense. There's no reason to go to 3.0, Neo 3.0, until there's a platform where you can liquidate it. Okay. And this is Krista Maria. Hi, I got a new computer. I reinstalled Exodus with my Treasure, but now I have zero balances showing on Exodus. I uninstalled the Exodus and reinstalled, but it's not letting me place my seed phrase in. It just got back to the new zero balance wallet. How can I erase and reinstall properly? That is going to be a longer conversation than this, because it really just depends on what operating system and that type of thing. So you may, we're going to have to say, either email me and I can do a quick look-see, but it may be more than just that. So one of those longer tech things, there's just no way we can do it on this. Okay, this is from Igor. Hi, George. Can you talk about claiming eCash tokens? I am going to, Jetta has a doc out there. I will post that, and it will kind of walk you through that process. I do not have any, so I could not do a video. There's no way for me to get that done without having that, and I did not have any available to me. This is from Krista Maria. I gave Caleb LeBron my Neon Neo address and it didn't work. Guess I'll ask them to try again. I guess when you say it didn't work, it didn't send properly, or it, the devil is in the details on this, because I'm not sure what it means by it didn't work. You got to remember on some of these wallets, specifically the Neo, any Neo wallet, most likely they will not send a test of a Neo token. They're going to send you gas. Neo can only be sent in whole numbers, so they can't send half a Neo as a test. What they would probably do is send gas as a test, and they can send a fraction of a gas. And because it's better to send as little as possible for tests, because that's what testing is all about. So check that Neon wallet and see, did you get gas or did you get nothing in that wallet? Okay, LM asks, when should I start moving coins to Caleb & Brown? Can I do it now? That really is a personal question that you need to ask yourself. What the comfort level, what coins are they? One of the things that you may want to try to do, which I have not done yet, but I'm going to put that together next week, is that if you know you have a bunch of coins that you're going to send over to Caleb & Brown, one of the things that you might want to ask them now, so that you don't get stuck in a line or a queue as things really heat up, is that you can request the wallet addresses early. You can verify, as time comes closer to liquidating your coins, but you can ask Caleb & Brown for wallet addresses. They could send them to you and then you would have them. If you really feel like you don't want to hold your coins, then you can send them over there. I don't necessarily recommend it. If you know something's going to be sold in 2 weeks, sure, you can send it over there. But if something isn't going to be liquidated until December, that's a long time for them to hold it. I know Jay, was going to sell his ADA and it didn't get to his price. And so he pulled that back and he took possession of that. So it really just depends on your comfort level. I have some coins over that I thought I was going to liquidate. I'm not going to request it back because it's going to be too expensive. If it's an ERC20, there's no reason to send it back and forth because the fees are just too high. But really that is a personal question on what you feel comfortable with and how much time it would take you to move them from point A to point B. Okay, let me take a look here. Okay, this is from HGB. I bought IOST on Binance and couldn't figure out how to remove it from the exchange. Yeah, you and many other people. On the withdrawal page, it only shows IOST blockchain option that is disabled. This has been going on for over a month. Appreciate any advice on getting my IOST secured off Binance. That is a really good question because there's many parts to it. Number one, are you validated? Are you registered over on Binance? Are you in the US? That's kind of a tricky question. I'm guessing it's on Binance.com and not Binance.us. One of the things that you may want to think about is that it is hard to store IOST. I have it. It's one of the few things that I have on my secondary Mac OS device because I held it on an app, and that was really one of the few places. The Hbar wallet held my IOST for quite a while. I staked it. I earned a lot of IOST. The Citadel wallet is one that came out, and you can store your IOST there. But Binance, you're going to need to ask them on why it's disabled, and that's probably where you're going to need to start asking. Why is this disabled? Will it be back? And if you don't get a reply, it may be that you have to liquidate your IOST there into something that you can move off that platform. And if you want to buy IOST back, then liquidate it in some type of stable coin if you want, or whatever is your favorite coin. Go to another exchange and repurchase IOST. The exchanges do what the exchanges do, and that's why both Jay and I kind of harp on people of right now things look fine on the exchanges, but this is an example of what might happen to certain coins. Wallet is under maintenance is another one where it just locks it up for a period of time, and it's not that you can even trade it to get it off. You just have to wait until the wallet comes out of maintenance. So I would email Binance. If you do email Binance, let us know, because I know there are probably quite a few other people that may have IOST on Binance, and it's their platform, so we'll see what they have to say. Okay, let me take a look. Okay, this one I'm not too sure, Tony. Hey, George, thanks for all the great content. Could you explain to the team why XTZ I staked on Exodus and subsequently exchanged for another token, but I still receive rewards? Do you know any other token that act the same way? That's Tezos, and that is really kind of strange, because when you exchange it, you shouldn't be getting rewards. How long have you been getting rewards on that? Some of it you can think of as an example of ADA. ADA has something called an epoch, and an epoch is 5 days. And when you stake on ADA, you have to wait for epoch, where you get no rewards. And the 5th epoch is when you start to get rewards. So when I requested my staking rewards off ADA into my main wallet, there were 2 days that I was going to still not necessarily earn staking rewards, but I wasn't going to be paid out until that staking reward hit the next epoch. So, an epoch is 5 days. So I took it out on, let's say, day 2. And so I had 3 days to go, and then I was going to receive a reward. It could be something like that, where, how long has the Tezos been giving you rewards after you've swapped it out? I mean, that's a great thing. It could just be something on their side that it's a bug, but you should not have that. If you're not owning the coin and it's not staking, you should not be getting returns, but congratulations. Okay, Tony says several weeks. You know what? Just count it as a blessing, because I don't know. Tezos basically has what they call bakers. And so if someone's baking your coins that doesn't supposedly really have your coins. So how that's happening is probably the baker's fault. But if you're getting coins, don't rock the boat. Okay. There are quite a few questions on eCash. What? Maybe I should get Jenna Red on here. I do not have eCash, so I can't say the best wallet. I know that it's not held in a hardware wallet, but I'll make sure that is answered on the posting. So yeah, I don't know the best wallet to hold that in right this second. Okay, and this is from Laura. Hi, George. You mentioned the Neon wallet on Thursday's live stream. How does the Neon wallet convert Neo into N3? Does it do it automatically? Could you explain further? What about gas? Is gas also converted in FLM2? So basically, and I will do a video on this, but the Neon wallet will allow you, well, hold on, let me see. Give me a second, because I actually closed the Neon wallet before I went on air. Let me see if I can bring it up and show you, as long as it doesn't give you a wallet address, because I don't want to have to go out and pull that off. Give me a sec. It's loading. Okay, yeah, I can do that because I don't have my ledger attached. Let me get this. Okay, here is the Neon wallet. You will see with the latest version of 292, right down here, if you can see my mouse, that they have legacy and they have N3. So legacy is the older version of the blockchain. Let me see if I have my screenshot from earlier this week. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Oops, let me grab that. Okay, let me go back here. So the Neon wallet now has two settings, legacy and N3. And when you do the conversion, it's not that you're opening up your wallet and all of a sudden, ooh, everything's converted. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to first log into your legacy wallet address. Well, yeah, we'll log in there, make sure everything's okay. Harvest, claim your gas. It's important to claim your gas just so that you can claim your gas and you don't forget it and that you don't leave it there. So claim your gas when you log in. Right now I would use Ledger, and there's no Ledger, so it's not going to connect. Go in there, see what you have, and then you can log out and you can log into your new N3 wallet. And the N3, when you're using a Ledger, is going to be a different app. The app that you're going to use, let me do this real quick, is right here. So when you go to Ledger Live, you have to specifically ask for and search for Neo, do NEO, and then you'll see that there's the Neo N3 that you can install. This is an example of when I logged in, I went to the installed apps. I saw that the Neo app was not needing to be updated. So I presumed that the Neo had not been released, the N3 version of it. I didn't know that they were going to have two completely different apps. It makes sense. They're two very different blockchains. So two apps for those. So you would need to install the Neo N3 app on your Ledger, and then you would select that Neo N3 app when you want to go back in and log into your N3 wallet. When you get to your N3 wallet, you'll request, it'll actually show it right down here. It'll also show you in the wallet the wallet address. And what you can do is then go back out of your N3 wallet with your wallet address, put into a text pad document, something that you can look at, review, put on your desktop, and then log back into your old legacy Neo wallet and send a test over the N3. It'll go through a bridge that bridges the two blockchains. It bridges the legacy blockchain and the new Neo N3 blockchain. and send a test, make sure everything's okay, send a little bit of gas, and then you can send the rest. Okay, let me take a look. This is from Klaus. Hi again. Had some Storm tokens and missed the swap to StormX. Allegedly, they have a manual method once a week for which you can apply for on their Facebook site. Oh, great. I did that, and so far, no StormX tokens in my wallet. Yeah, I don't have Storm, and I don't have Facebook. And probably right now, I'm glad I don't have either. If you find that they will do that, then let us know. You know, switching between either contracts, which is a type of upgrade, an example of that would have been ADX. ADX went and swapped their old tokens for a new token because they wanted a newer smart contract so it could do different things. And that's easy to do until they kind of close things and don't allow you to do it. And so when we've missed some of the upgrades, some of the swaps, it's hit and miss. Like Kick Token, didn't even know, had a bunch and didn't hear about it. I hear a lot of these things through you guys, and it's kind of heartbreaking when we have our tokens and they won't do it. I would follow up with them on Facebook and say, look, what's going on? Why can't we do it? Let me know, and I will, I'll let everybody know. And for anybody that did the swap for MedX, I played by their rules and I had the stuff in when it should have been, actually 2 days before. And I just got an email back that I should probably let everybody know that they said, oops, we missed yours. You'll get it on the next swap. I'm like, wait a minute. No. That's not okay. I can prove to you that the tokens were sent to you 2 days, or at least a day. Depends on the time zone that they say is, the official time for this. But they had it in their possession and they just said, oops, sorry, we mistakenly didn't include you. And I followed up and I said, okay, that's fine, but I want to do it now because I played by your rules and you didn't play by your rules that you set. And that's not okay. And please explain to me why you won't do it right now if you can see on the blockchain. Haven't heard anything back and I do need to follow up, but it is very frustrating with smaller chains on what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. Okay, regarding BCH, is there something address-wise that I need to do updating my BCH to a different address, or what file format it is? I hold very old BCH and had issues moving it. Well, there are some on different blockchains, specifically blockchains that are based on the Bitcoin blockchain. And those would be things like Bitcoin, obviously, Litecoin, BCH, Digibyte, I believe Dash 2. When you have what they call now legacy addresses, those are the first addresses on the blockchain. Then they have SegWit and native SegWit. I'm guessing you're having issues. I'm not sure what you're having issues because I need to do updating my BCH to a different address. Are you trying to move them? Are you trying to just hold them in a different way? That would be the question. And so I'm not sure if you're just having a hard time accessing them or you're actually trying to send them. Okay, and who is this from? Kate. Can you explain how to stake Theta and T-Fuel with the new mainnet? I only have Theta wallet on my phone at the moment. Well, first thing, get them off your phone and get them on a ledger. I've had a couple people email in or make comments that I've read that say, you can get a ledger wallet pretty quickly from France now. So they're not back ordered, and that is the first thing that I would do is get them off your phone and get them onto a hardware wallet. You really, there's probably a way to do it from your phone. I don't recommend it at all because that means you have 12 words or 24 words to hold your Theta. But there are some videos that, let me get this, let me look. Let me get this. If you visit the Bitcoin Academy under technology, there is, oops, there is something under staking. There's Theta tokens and T-Fuel, and those are some videos. Oh, you know what? Sorry, you guys, I'm on the wallet. Let me get here, Brave. If you go to the bitcoinacademy.net, under technology, you'll see staking, and there's Theta token and T-Fuel, and there are some videos. I haven't moved all the videos over from my site, blacklab.net, over to here because I just haven't had the time. But there are some staking videos over there. I think I have Citadel over there, and a couple others. But this is where you can see the videos for Theta and T-Fuel and how to stake them. But definitely I would get them on a desktop computer. I know I've had a lot of people email in with questions like, hey, I can't find this. I would say that the biggest question on cell phones is I cannot find the search box. And because you're looking at it on a different, basically platform, which is a smaller platform, you're not going to have things look the same way as you would on a desktop. And if you're looking for the search box on the .io site, you're going to need to go all the way down to the bottom, and that's where the search box will be, because in the, well, let me get there. The way the page is created right now, the search box is here, and this is a different area, and this area will go all the way to the bottom. So the search box is there if you're on a mobile device. It's just not located like it is on the site. And this is from Helen. I was a few minutes late. Did you discuss changing Neo 2 to Neo 3? Yeah, you can listen a little bit earlier in this, but basically we're waiting. I'm waiting. You can do whatever you want. I'm waiting until Cable and Brown says, yes, we have liquidity to allow you to give us your N3, and we'll sell it for you. They're saying fourth quarter. Until they say yes, they have liquidity, I don't want to keep it. I don't want to convert it into an N3, Neo 3.0, until I know that I have a place to sell it, because there's no going back once you go to Neo 3. This is from Chad. George, I'm staking FLM and NNEO at the moment, and it shows a positive P&L. If it shows positive, does that mean I won't lose any FLM when I go on staking? My ultimate question is, how do I determine if I'm going to be losing FLM when I unstake? It is a, Jay and I had this like a 2-hour discussion when we first were staking some of this, and the P&L is different than, are you going to have one coin, are you going to have more of one coin than the other? P&L really depends on when you staked your coins and at what price you staked. And so it depends on when you staked it, at what price, and how many coins you stake. If you go to, let me get this up. It's not going to show you anything because I am no longer staking, but MyMingo, if you go to MyMingo and you log in here, yeah, it's not going to show really anything. It will show you how many coins, the different coins that you staked. It'll show you how many NEO you staked originally and how many Flamingo you staked originally. And think about it this way, with a staking process like NEO, I mean, each blockchain has their own staking method, has their own rules. You can't say, one is like the other, because they're kind of not. When you stake T-Fuel and Theta, you don't have to do anything but stake them. You're never going to lose those coins. You're only going to earn probably fewer and fewer as more people stake. But with NEO, what you're doing is you are adding liquidity first. So you're adding the same US dollar amount of FLM as you are NEO. And at that moment in time, that's what the value is. And when you add liquidity with those two coins, you create a third coin. And that third coin, then you go to the vault and you stake. And that's where you'll earn your staking. But the Flamingo and the NEO tokens will fluctuate on how many you actually own. And so I know it's a little bit difficult to think about this, but as NEO increases in price, that basically means, since you're adding liquidity, people are buying your NEO and giving you Flamingo. So in that process, when NEO goes up and Flamingo doesn't, you'll end up with more NEO than you will Flamingo, and vice versa happens. So if Flamingo's going up, they're buying your Flamingo and giving you NEO. When you have two good coins like Flamingo and NEO, it's pretty good because you're not getting more of one than the other. You may during a period of time, but if what Jay is giving us targets on NEO, at one point, and this is when I first started to stake the two, NEO was going to be a 3 times coin. Flamingo was going to be a 13 times coin. And so what I didn't want to have happen was when things really started to pump, I didn't want all my Flamingo taken from me, because that is a 13 times potentially coin, as compared to NEO, which was a 3 times coin. So one of the reasons why I decided to unstake when I did was because I had in my wallet, I had more Flamingo than I did NEO, just because the liquidity pool at that point in time. I didn't want to pull out and have more NEO than Flamingo, because I think the price, the percentage rise in Flamingo is going to be greater than in NEO. I know that's a lot to kind of take in, but there's nothing that it is like 1 in a million shot that however many NEO and Flamingo you put in, you're going to get the same number out, because it really just depends on the liquidity pool. It depends on the price of each coin. And so using MyMingo, when you log in, it will give you an idea of, it'll tell you right there how many coins you staked and how many coins you currently have. And that's really the best thing to look at and monitor. And when you feel comfortable, if you want more NEO than Flamingo, you can wait until Flamingo's going up and people are giving you NEO. So that's kind of how you can play the liquidity pool. My first liquidity pool that I participated in was Ethereum and Pillar, and I learned a lot. When you have one coin that's really good, like Ethereum, and you have one coin that really kind of sucks, like Pillar, you gain more pillar and you lose some Ethereum. So what I should have done is I kind of participated with Pillar when they were adding liquidity to their wallet. I kind of wanted to see what it was like. What I should have done is immediately when I deliquified or when I removed my liquidity, I should have sold that amount of Pillar and got my Ethereum back. But I did not, but it taught me a great lesson. It didn't cost me that much, but I learned a lot when I added some liquidity. Okay. Okay, and this is from Krista Maria. The Casper network has lots of staking sites. I just joined their Telegram group. Yep, I don't know what the rules are for Casper since it's really hard to hold. I don't hold that much Casper, so I'm not really that worried about it. The devil is in the details of how much it is to send Casper, how much it is to stake. I know DOS, when you stake DOS, because it's an ERC20 token, I'm telling you, the amount of money that I spent staking DOS, I think I spent over $300 staking it, unstaking it. I think I earned about $600 total. So, the gains are not as good as you think when you take fees into account. And some of the tokens out there, when they have smart contracts, one of the things that you'll notice is that there are fees for sending your coins to a place that you can stake. But the other fee that you don't really see, and maybe it's in the small print, I don't know, is the price of the smart contract. I think the smart contract was about $60 to approve. And so that $60 in the smart contract, I think is going right back to DOS. But I'm not sure. It's just, be careful when you stake, know how much you're going to spend, and see how long it's going to be to unstake. Okay, this is from Ryan. Ryan, this is a big, long question that I cannot cover here, but I can kind of give you some ideas. It says, hi, George, can you touch on how to use LastPass? I think Crypto Dad has a video on that. I'm not sure, and we'll go to his website or his YouTube channel. But basically, I can't show you my LastPass because it'll kind of dox me and the email address that I use for my LastPass. But LastPass, just like 1Password, is a place to store all your passwords for your different websites. I also put my credit card information in. I also put my healthcare information. I trust LastPass. There's a video on the cybersecurity class that was put out. I kind of took pieces of it from a tech group over at Nottingham University over in the UK, and they talk about password managers. Specifically, they talk about LastPass. I've been with LastPass for quite a while. I know that there are some other ones out there. I don't really talk about them because I don't know about them. I have a really long history with LastPass, and so that's why I trust it. And that's part of the reason why I put some of these recommended tools there, because if I don't use it, I'm not necessarily going to recommend it. And so, Delete Me, I know I put out a video yesterday, and it's because I've been using it for, a couple days shy of 6 months, and it works for me. So I can recommend that. But LastPass stores a lot of my information. I will never put my 12 words in. I'll never put my 24 words from a hardware wallet. Let me back up. My MetaMask, I will put in there because I don't keep anything in my MetaMask. I use MetaMask to connect my ledger, but things like that where it's really easy to access. I put my driver's license in there, a picture of the driver's license. I put my library card. I put lots of things that if I ever got to a place and I needed to just be able to reference it, I have it there. In fact, I was trying to pick up a laptop from the Apple store when I was out of town. I forgot my wallet, and they said, we need to have a government ID. And so I went to LastPass and I pulled up my driver's license. And she looked at it and she said, okay. So she accepted it if I was in a car and I showed a police officer. I haven't gotten stopped in, oh my gosh, like 20 years, partly because I don't drive, but they may or may not take that. I know that there are 2 states, I don't know, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. I know there are 2 states out there that are now doing electronic driver's licenses. And that is definitely the future. But LastPass allows me to store some information that I can carry around with me because I have it enabled on my phone, on my desktop, on my laptop, on a lot of different places. And I can easily get passwords for websites and information that I put in there. It's pretty detailed on how LastPass works. So I can't do it here because it'll show you everything, and I'm not willing to do that, but maybe I'll put a quick thing together if Crypto Dad doesn't have something about LastPass. I can't personally live without it. I have every password that is a newly created website or newly created login, and all my major logins have a different password. So if one is compromised, I don't care because it's not going to compromise any of the others. I still have 74 sites that have an old password or a reused password, but they're websites like MySpace. And that was when MySpace was MySpace, and now I guess it's a music space. So some of those old ones and some of the websites are not even there, and I have to go through and clean it up. And when I have time, I'll sit down and I'll change some of the passwords. But the passwords that I change are the ones that I use most frequently and the ones that have the most value to me. Yep, Casper.live is where you can go, but Casper.live to keep it there. Sorry, this is following up on Casper. That as I remember going there, you could create a wallet, but I don't want to create a wallet with a 12-word, 24-word. It's one more thing that I have to get into my encrypted thumb drive and remember and that type of thing. So I'm just going to wait until the ledger comes out with the app, because I probably will not stake Casper. This is from Igor. Thanks for the information on Delete Me. I was surprised how much information tracked me. Thanks again. You know what, Igor, you are so right. In fact, I was on the phone with my friend, a high school friend, and we were talking a little bit, and she's like, I'm worried about you. I'm like, why are you worried about me? Because I said, I like to keep private, and I guess she doesn't care about privacy. She said, well, I think if you're trying to stay private, you have something to hide. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, where are you getting that narrative? And that's fine, and you can believe that. But this is the question that I wish I would have thought about when I talked to her. Well, this one I did ask. I said, okay, well, why do you put your shades down at night in your home? Because if you don't care to be private, you might as well just let everybody see locally into your home and see what you do. Because online, hundreds of millions of people can see. But if you're at home, hopefully there's probably only about 100 people that will walk by your house or drive by your house and see what's going on. And the other part, and this is why I'm kind of going to focus on privacy, is that, would you just let the police walk into your house and look around? I have nothing to hide, so why not let anybody in to search your car, to search your purse walking down the street, to search your closet because they heard a dog barking? And I don't think people remember that we have, these rights that this country was founded on. But that also, it's like privacy is to keep yourself private, and not everybody has to know everything. But for all you Facebook users, the world is watching you. So it's not just the people in your local vicinity that are watching, it's the globe. And if you look at, which I will never go on another interview again, and I'm going to have to remind my son when he's older, but the number of people that look at your Facebook page, look at your Twitter page, if you're going for an interview, don't think that it's not fair game, because it is. And so whatever you put on there at some point in time, even if you are mad and you really didn't mean it after the fact and you forget about it, it's there for everybody to see. And, you know, Igor, before I decided to come on the air with Jay, which I had no idea what I was getting into, I spent some time trying to clean things up for myself, and I thought I did a fairly good job. I'm a fairly smart guy, and every now and then I will get an email from someone saying, "Hey, you know what? I think I found you." And I was like, oh, I was so tired of getting those emails, because I don't like to be doxxed. And so with using Delete Me, it really cleaned up all the things that were easy to do, and most of the time really hard to do, that I could not take and waste my time on. So I recommend anybody doing, if you want to remain private, not anonymous, because it's never anonymous on the internet, you know, look at adding that service to your life, and knowing that you're probably going to need to just keep it going if you want to stay private. And it does a lot, and it takes a long time. I've been there 6 months, and there's still probably 6, 7 different brokers that they're trying to get my name off of, and some of them that I have to go and get them off of. And I will put a video together for this, not necessarily how to do it, but kind of about privacy, is that when you have an LLC and it's out there, because any public record, voting, how you hold your house in title or land in title, businesses, that information is all out there. And you need to make sure that it is, if you care to, that it's not necessarily as easy to find. I'm learning that along the way. I would have done things differently 5 years ago. If I knew what I know now back then, I would have done things completely different. So it's a lot harder to go back and clean up your life than bringing it forward. Okay. Krista Maria says, the FLM didn't send to Neon with Caleb and Brown. Well, the FLM is a Neo token, so I guess it's going to need some detail, like why didn't it send, or was it the wrong address? It's all on the blockchain, so the FLM absolutely positively, without a doubt, just like gas, goes in the Neon wallet. Now, or sorry, the Neo wallet, and a Neon wallet will hold that and is a Neo wallet. But there's also different addresses to a Neon wallet. So the devil is going to be in the details on that one. Okay, this is from Helen. Hbar, do you have a process to create a new wallet for Hbar? Yes, I do. And it's been out there for a while. Let's go here. Well, this is CryptoDad's site. I recommend CryptoDad. He's somewhere in the Midwest. I've tried to email him when he got kicked out of YouTube. He hadn't heard back. I would like to connect with him just to say hi. I think he's does a great job for everybody, and he has some really great videos. And he is much cheaper to watch on YouTube than I am to hire, and so that's why, I don't necessarily want your money. I want you to get your questions answered. But if you look up Hbar, no KYC, you will see this was a year ago. This is a video that I have that walks you through the process of how to get your public key. When you get the public key, I prefer it in a QR code, but because if you don't put it in a QR code, I just got to quickly put it in a QR code either way. But if you get that public key, not private, I don't want a private, no one should have private. When you get your public key, you can put a support ticket in and I can create a wallet for you. The number of wallets that I've created are in the hundreds now. I probably get 2 to 3 a day, and I'm not kidding either. It's pretty easy to do, but that's the way to get an Hbar wallet tied to your ledger. Caleb and Brown said, okay, this is from LM. Caleb and Brown said addresses are only good for a week. Maybe some wallets are good for a week. I know some wallets that I'm holding some of my Ethereum ERC20 tokens. I believe that's my wallet, but yeah, I would check with them and see. You can probably get a list that's closer to the time frame, but it really just depends on their rules. And I don't really keep any on there, so I'm not sure. Usually I request a wallet address, send it, and then sell. This is from HGB. Thank you for the IOST advice. I'll contact Binance and let you know. Thank you. This is also from HGB. As we all know, ERC fees are quite high. Is there a place/alert system that you use to help you know when a good time to move tokens on ERC when these fees are lower? I don't have a system. I did have a cool little video, not a video, but animated thing that I would watch with my son. Let me see if I can find that. Well, what I have found personally is that if I do it early Saturday morning or Sunday morning, the fees seem to be pretty low. I think just because usage is low at that point in time, but there's NFTs that also fall into play. And so when CryptoKitties was way back in the day, you know, it was never a lower fee because CryptoKitties people never slept. So I would say, you know, I don't know of a site that alerts us to that. If anybody does, I would love to hear it, and I would, and I'll post it. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm gonna have a little bit of water and tie my shoes because I am standing at my standing desk. Okay. This is from Jeff. I have several Caleb and Brown accounts and separate emails for each account. I listed the coins I wanted to receive deposit addresses for. They sent back separate emails listing account-specific deposit addresses for each coin. This will expedite things on both ends when we are cashing out. Yeah, you know, what I would say to people is that I spent, I think first part of this month and the last part of last month, getting my ducks in a row, meaning I found where most of my coins are. Actually, I think all of them. I put a spreadsheet together and said, this is what I'm going to do for each coin. This is where I'm going to sell. This is where they're located. They're on, you know, XYZ ledger. Or like for Litecoin Cash, it's on a computer that's, you know, not my desktop, but it's somewhere else. And because I did that before, I'm not going to have to do it when things are really when it's crunch time. And so I would recommend everybody getting all of those things done prior. Like I know a lot of people are stumbling across coins that you know were or still are ERC20s, but they have their own mainnet, so they're going to be pretty much worthless until a bridge is open. So if you get things together, know where they are, then you're going to have a better time and you're not going to be as stressed. Okay, oh yeah, that's earlier. This is from Stan. Stan says, Jetta Red said to use the Electrum ABC wallet for eCash. That sounds like a great idea. I believe the Electrum ABC wallet was not around earlier for the Mac, and I believe they have it now, and that was why it's much easier for people to convert because you don't have to go to Windows to get that converted over. This is from Brian. Hi, George. If I have staked Theta and T-Fuel coins on thetatoken.org website, but I want to move it to my ledger, do I have to unstake first before moving them and restake them again on my ledger? Much thanks. Yes, because they are different accounts, different private keys, and let's go there right now. So the this is their main website. When you want to get to a wallet, you click here, and this is where I'm guessing you either have a key store, mnemonic phrase, private key. Those you would have to enter, and you would have one set of addresses, and then when you click on hardware, you'd have another set of addresses. So yes, you're going to need to wait the 60 hours to unstake your coins, and then you can send them off to your hardware wallet address, and then go ahead and restake them. But that's really the only way to get that done. Okay. Okay, this is from Tracy. This is a long one, so let me get a little bit of water. It says, hi, George, you're great. I have a Treasure and Nano X. I still feel intimidated by my ledger and can't understand why Ledger Live doesn't have a lot of coins I would expect. I had a problem with Cardano on the Ada Lite wallet, disappeared and shows zeros. And I'll be booking time with you. The biggest question is, why are the main beloved coins not on Ledger Live? I think I'm not understanding that we have to create lots of wallets to holding things on the ledger. Can you explain this a bit? I bought a couple Nano X to store all my coins, my top coins, and these are XLM, OMG, ADA, NAM, Hbar, T-Fuel, etc. It really depends on the blockchain, and it depends on the community and not on Ledger. And the reason I say that is that when I first ordered my first Ledger, it was a Ledger S, and then the Ledger Blue came out, and I loved the Ledger Blue. I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. I love the interface, and it's a doorstop now. In fact, I bought 4 of them, and I sent them all back and requested a refund, and they gave me a refund because I insisted on it. But the hardware wallet will only do so much as compared to what the blockchain community wants it to do. Meaning, here's an example that Tezos was first on the ledger, and you had, I was using Tezbots, and that's where I had to go, and I put, all my Tez in Tezbots, and I secured it on a ledger, and I felt really good. And then one day I went back, and Tezbots was defunct. It wasn't updating. It wasn't allowing me to access things. But what they did, the community, the Tez community worked with Ledger, and I don't know how and what the process is, but they allowed that coin to be viewed on Ledger Live. You could stake it on Ledger Live. So it was the community that came up to the plate and did the work. But there are certain things that you're not going to be able to do on Ledger that you can do in a standalone wallet. For example, ADA has smart contracts now, or it's headed in that direction. They will, you can stake, you can do other things that their interface is much better than Ledger Live. Ledger Live is a view into each of those blockchains. It doesn't hold anything. It doesn't do anything except give you a view into those blockchains. So Ledger Live is great for some things, but it's really not for others. Like, you can't see your Hbar because the community didn't want to write something for Ledger, and there are wallets out there that they want the people to use. So there's really two types of coins on Ledger. Ledger will secure them, and that's the most important thing. You know, when there's an app that will go on your Ledger for a coin that you like, I'm done, I'm fine. It just depends on where I'm going to store it in what particular wallet. The Neo wallet, the O3 Neo wallet will allow you to stake on flamingo.finance. You're not going to be able to do an interface like that on Ledger Live. It's going to be a lot harder, or quite possibly impossible to do. And so it's not that you should become Ledger Live centric, because I can remember the day, and there's probably many people out here that can remember the day where Ledger Live did not hold anything but Ethereum. You couldn't see any ERC20 tokens on there. It only held Ethereum, and to see ERC20s, you had to go to my Ether wallet, which now my favorite is mycrypto.com, and downloading the app and installing it. Let me get that. Oops. Let's see. They've changed this since download the desktop app. One of the reasons why you may want to download an app instead of using a web-based is that there's something called man-in-the-middle attack. There's a DNS. You could have forced DNS changes if you go to a particular DNS server, and so it would redirect you to a particular malicious website instead of going to the correct one. With an app, it's a lot harder to do that. So whenever I look at my Ethereum tokens, I really don't use Ledger Live that much. I use my crypto app that's installed, but it really depends on what you feel comfortable with. But bottom line, there can be coins that are stored on Ledger Live that you secure with your Ledger hardware wallet that you can view on Ledger Live, and there's some that you can't. And it's just knowing the process. And I'd bring Ledger Live up, but there's too much information on there. But when you look at a coin, actually, let's see, does this show it? Well, the Neo app kind of does. Let's see, where'd that go? See how the Neo app, it doesn't say Ledger Live supported? I think it says it here. It either says it here or it says it in their other list. But this is not Ledger Live supported, but you can use another wallet to access it. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit confusing. I would say the best thing to get over your Ledger Live, your Ledger hardware wallet issues, choose a coin like Litecoin or another inexpensive coin to send, and just practice and get used to it. And that is the easiest way to get over feeling intimidated. Okay, Latab. Fairly new, I finally managed to set up IOST on Citadel.1 wallet. I connected to a Hbar wallet, but it asked me for my private key in this situation. Is it okay to provide the private key? Also, is there a way to get IOST onto Ledger? Sorry if this has been answered previously. I don't know of IOST on Ledger right now. I connected it to the Hbar wallet. I don't know about that. I know the Hbar wallet was not allowing any new IOST accounts, but that was a while ago. I've kind of lost track of IOST because it's just sitting there waiting. I would not necessarily give whatever Hobie wallet, because is it an online Hobie wallet? Is it an app on your phone? I know that one I don't know. You can kind of maybe send me screenshots and I can take a look, but I would not give any private key out. There's no reason to do that unless they've kind of changed things, but I thought it was just being held right in the Citadel wallet itself. Okay, this is from Evelyn. Hi, do you know of an exchange or somewhere to get ideas for new tokens and coins? I created a token for a client, and I would also like to know if there is an exchange that might be good for new unknown tokens. I do not. I would not necessarily go to an exchange and look for new tokens. I'd see what the background of that token or who's backing it or what community. But yeah, I do not know that one. Tanya, you mentioned last talk about using a VPN on your phone when you're out of town or maybe traveling, not to be tracked. Is this correct? Could you share more about that? Yeah, I use my VPN. I don't use a commercial VPN because I don't trust them. But you guys can do whatever. It's right there. I offered it because people back in last July, so July 2020, I had talked about my VPN, and they said, "Oh, we'd really like to use it too." I'm like, "No, this is my VPN, and I don't want to share it. It's too much work, blah blah blah." And so I did share it with a couple of people that I knew, and then it kind of just became its own thing. But what I find is that I do have to work on the VPN class because there's so many different aspects to a VPN. A lot of people use a VPN thinking that they're going to be anonymous. They're not. That you're going to be private, that's questionable, and that's a maybe. Because what a VPN was built for and what a VPN is best used for is to connect two networks together, meaning you have an office that's in San Francisco and you have an office that's in San Jose, and you need to make sure that those two offices can talk to one another and share information and not expose any data. Well, that's what a VPN was built for, connecting two networks. And that's what it's best for, connecting two networks. Because if you think about it, when you use a VPN, you're always going out to the internet. That's what people use a VPN for. They're not connecting two networks. They're connecting their home network to a spot, a city on the internet where they are going to exit their home network from. That really does not provide much privacy, and here's why. And so when you are surfing and you log into eBay, Amazon, Netflix, your email, anything like that, they know who you are. So if I say that I'm in Dallas, and really here in Virginia, where I am, I go out to Dallas and say, okay, I'm going to pretend like I'm coming from Dallas, and I log into Amazon, and Amazon says, okay, George is back. Oh, that's great. Well, his credit card matches an address that's not in Dallas, so we don't care if he's in Dallas. I mean, it does not matter. He could be traveling, he could be this, that, and the other. When you log into websites, they know who you are. They cookie you and they follow you. And it's not being paranoid, it's just how the internet works. So when you have a different exit point, meaning a Dallas IP address, no one really cares. I mean, someone might, but they know that your credit card goes back to another address and they know who you are. So they just know that you come in from a different IP address. So if companies like our website wants to stop people from coming in with a VPN, you can easily do that. I don't pay for the technology. It's a plugin, and it's free. So there's not much use, depending on what you want to use a VPN for, to protect you. It's not going to stop viruses. It's not going to stop things that people think it's going to stop. It's not going to make you anonymous, or it's not going to make you, it could potentially make you more private. And I'll talk about the things that VPNs will do for you. If you want to go to Binance.com and you want to log in and exchange some coins because you are not, you have a free account, they don't know who you are except for an email address, and you live in Topeka, Kansas, and you connect to a VPN in London, well, they're going to check that VPN in London, the IP address, and they're going to say it's tied to an address in London, so they're good. We're going to let them in. If they really wanted to be thorough, what they would say is, oh, that's actually a VPN because it's coming from a server in a data center, and no one surfs from a server in a data center to Binance. So we're not going to allow them in. We're going to make sure that they come from a real IP address, not a fake IP address that's a server IP address. And so they could stop that. But the other thing that a VPN does is it protects some data. Just like in my first example, where it's connecting two networks, two offices, that information is encrypted between the two offices and no one can see it. Well, when I'm traveling, I know for a fact that there are places, there are networks, there are cell towers that may say that they're AT&T or Verizon, but they're not. They're basically towers that just want to process data. There are malicious networks out there that may say that they are Verizon or AT&T, and they're just snooping through your traffic. Well, if I'm in an airport, if I'm at a Starbucks, if I'm at a hotel, and I want to make sure whatever network that I'm connecting to is clean, if I use my VPN for my cell phone and I connect to Dallas, then I know between my phone and Dallas, it's an encrypted network and it goes out from Dallas to the rest of the internet. So I don't have to worry about someone pretending that they're a Starbucks network when they're really not. Someone could set up a wireless network that says Starbucks right next to Starbucks and just start to kind of harvest some of your data. It's known that there are places like that. So that's why I kind of use a VPN, just to protect my data and who I am. This is from Brian. Hi, George. A friend of mine moved about $500 worth of BCH in 2018 from Upload to his Trezor. She just opened the Trezor for the first time in 3 years and BCH balance was 0. Is this because of a legacy conversion to SegWit? Is there a way to get it back? Thanks much. That's a loaded question because there's a lot of questions in between. Is the Trezor updated? Is what they're accessing? This is a bigger question. It could be a variety of things, and I would make sure that everything is updated. And the thing that people say, because I've had a couple people write in and say, I just logged in and it's all 0. What happened? Well, go back and look. Is there any blockchain information? Are you in the right wallet? If there's nothing on the blockchain, then you're probably not in the right wallet because nothing was sent or received. So check that to make sure that is actually the right address. If there's nothing on the blockchain, then it's absolutely not the right address because there's nothing on the blockchain. Okay, and this is from PW. I lost 6 to 7% FLM unstaked, but gain 11% NEO. Yep, there you go. So it just depends on what you want. Okay, and this is Jesse, but wouldn't they give enough NEO in exchange for FLM that you could just swap back and get your original position? Yes, but you have to be proactive about that, and you have to see what the price change is. So they're always going to give you that the value back, because it will always be, if you put $100 in FLM, $100 of NEO, it's going to give you that value back. But if Flamingo is going to go up 13 times as compared to NEO 3 times, it would be better to pull your your Flamingo out and hold on to it so you get that 13 times rise. Otherwise, everybody's going to be buying your Flamingo and giving you NEO, which is only get a 3 times rise. Okay. This is from Jesse. Do you consider Ledger's purchase from Amazon on the official Ledger store to be secure? Yes, most likely. But I prefer getting it right from France because I just don't know what I don't know. Most of the time, it would be hard to do something, but I prefer it from the factory itself. This is Jesse again. Does LastPass have access to your data in an unencrypted form? You can get an unencrypted form of your data from LastPass, but LastPass does not. Okay. And let me see. Okay, this is from Sandra. George, Jay has mentioned a method on how he moves his coins to Caleb and Brown. I think he says he moves to Exodus first and then sends to Caleb and Brown. What is the best method to send my coins to Caleb and Brown? My coins are on some exchanges, my Ledger, and some on Exodus. Do I just send them directly from wherever I have my coins, or is it best to move them to Exodus first and then send them to Caleb and Brown? Sorry if I'm confusing. Confusing. I just remember that Jay saying he doesn't send them directly from his ledger. Did I misunderstand the process? I just want to know the best way to move coins from the devices. Thanks. It really just depends on what you want to do. You got to remember, this is the blockchain. So whether you send them directly from your ledger to Caleb and Brown or ledger to Exodus to Caleb and Brown, I'll still know. You can just go backwards from Caleb and Brown. So what Jay might be doing is having them from different wallets, putting them to Exodus and sending them that way. I don't do that because I know that anybody's going to find out where they're sending from. So if you had 100 Litecoin and you had them on your ledger, and then you sent them to your Exodus wallet, and then you sent them to Caleb and Brown, I mean, it's you just follow it. You just follow it back. So you'd be able to see that, oh yeah, he sent 100 from this wallet to this wallet to this wallet. So it doesn't really matter. But if I had multiple wallets that I wanted to send, and I had 50 Litecoin from one Atomic wallet, another one from Ledger, and I want them to go into Caleb Brown nice and neat in one hash, then I might do it that way. But it's really just depends on what you want to do. You got to remember also, Jay is at a different level than all of us. I can say that for myself. I definitely, he's way above the crowd. You don't have to go through Exodus to send it. You can send it directly. Thank you, Helen. Okay, this is from Sandra. George, I'm one of the people that still has not pulled my Hbar coins from Jay. What is the best way for me to get the message to Jay? Give him my Hbar wallet? Should I just ask for the help button? I have my original email with the details. Also, my partner also has the same issue. Is it best for us to send emails the same time to Jay and doing it 2 times? I know I should have requested them way back, but did not have a place to put them, put the Hbar. And Jay said it was okay to leave them for a bit. Sorry for the delay, but best way to handle this. The best way to handle it is go ahead and send the original information, like I sent this much USDT from this address to his address. He's going to need to see the screenshot and that kind of detail. You can do it all in one email, and that's fine, because what I'm going to do is I'll take it and just forward it on to Victoria, and then she'll kind of handle it from there. So that is probably the best way to do it. Let's see. This is from Stanford. Hi, George. Thanks for doing these sessions. FYI, AI-based transactions or transcription services are getting more accurate and might improve the accuracy of your transcriptions of Jay's videos, which would be helpful. Yeah, you know what? I actually, I put it through GoToWebinar, stuff we're using right now, and let them handle it. Yep, it's not perfect. I don't even go through and try to improve it because I just don't have time. But thank you for that. Maybe they will do a better job. This is from Tracy. I think you helped me understand this. I thought that Ledger Live was somehow to get it in my ledger. I was looking for the easiest way to secure on my Nano X, but you mentioned my crypto. It's just more steps than I understood. Yep, it's trying to grasp all the different ways the Ledger hardware wallet will work. And this is Kate. Thank you, George, for the advice, and we'll definitely watch the videos. I need to get everything off my Theta wallet. It's just hard. Yeah, I know. It's not easy. You can always email in, and you know, if you're having issues, and we can see what. I don't want you to lose anything, and I've seen some nightmares out there that I just don't want to have repeated. This is from HGB. Have you experienced with Next DNS service? Do you recommend any on a privacy-centric DNS service that isn't slow? Yep, I have. I don't want to talk about this yet, but I have something called a Pi-hole, and a Pi-hole is basically a recursive DNS server that I run in my house. And it has filters that are updated, and so I block or I black hole DNS requests from places that I don't want to be tracked from. I will be doing a video on that, but right now, Raspberry Pis, which are what run the Pi-hole, are in short supply. I can only get one from my distributor, and I used to order them in 10 and 20. I think I've sold probably 100 different Pi-holes through various places. And that is the best thing that I know to use, because you put it right in your network. Because the way you set it up, it doesn't necessarily go out. You can have it go out this way. And the original way that I had it, it was where you would go out to like Cloudflare or Quad9, and you'd request the DNS from those servers. Well, since you change the technology on the back end of the Pi-hole, you go directly to who owns the DNS for that server. Recursive DNS, and it goes and doesn't ask Cloudflare, doesn't ask another DNS provider. It goes right to the core and requests what the IP address is for that particular server. That does a lot of things. Like if there's DNS poisoning, if there's a DNS server that has been hijacked, who cares? Because you're going right to where the IP address and domain are being stored. Like you're going to the core. So I used NextDNS a long time ago, but I can't say that one DNS provider is better than the other. I like Quad9. Quad9 is a nonprofit. I've heard the interviews with the CEO a couple times. They do a great job. They black hole things that are bad websites, and they will stop you from visiting something that you shouldn't be visiting. But there are companies like Comcast and AT&T and Cox and some of them where if you can't change your DNS, and see, I'm going to go off on a tangent, and I'll go over this on the class video. But if you can't change your DNS server from your provider that's giving you internet access, you know what? Then they are taking that information and they are harvesting it and they are selling it, because there's no reason that you should not be able to do that. I know Spectrum does that in different locations. You can't change anything on their router, but that's kind of getting into going in the weeds. This is from Tanya. When updating our iPhones to the new updates with fixes, are there risks that along with the ones come from the tracking inserts? No. I know way back in the day, people were concerned with rumors going on that if you do the latest Apple update, it's going to stop emergency notifications, and it's just, it's not. Updates are important. If Apple was found to be inserting something, they would lose credibility with everyone. Updates are important because they find bugs and holes in their software that need to be patched. And that's the bottom line. If there's an update out there and it's from a major company, then do the update. Jesse, can they follow you between browsers? It depends on what you're doing and where you're going. So, most browsers set cookies so that you can remain in a website, but there's also other things that are on a web page. And it's, when you look at the data from a pie hole and what data is being blocked, you'd be shocked at how many URLs are actually in a web page. So as an example, let's say there's a tracking website that just puts a little dot on the web page itself, a transparent GIF, and it's just there to track. Well, if you go from Brave to Firefox using the same IP address, they don't know for sure, but they can assume that it's the same type of tracking. When you have an IP address that you share across multiple people, then it's harder, but there is technology to do that, especially if you're logged in, because if you log in any place, they know who you are. It doesn't matter your IP address, that kind of goes out the door. It's because you're being tracked because you're logged into wherever. And when you're logged into YouTube, Gmail, all of those, you are exposing all that data to everyone because you're logged in. And it's just, it's hard to be really clean on the internet. This is from Sandra. FYI, I had my XTZ on CP and moved them to to CBP and still get XTZ rewards on CB. Maybe that's the same as the other person who mentioned this. It may be because CMB and CBP are connected in some other ways. I'll take the extra tokens. Yeah, it's hard to know because I thought when you move things, you had to unbake your tokens. This is from Klaus, and we are getting really close. We're at 1 hour and 40 minutes. Wow. By the way, joineddeleteme.com seems to only work for people in the US. That's interesting. I did not think about that. It's not just, it's kind of the internet. Maybe there's some things are US centric, but you know what? Maybe I'll email them and ask. Okay. Pardido. Is it possible to move cryptos between 2 separate ledgers using Ledger Live at the same time? Nope. When you have 2 hardware wallets plugged in, it confuses things. So just get the address, unplug the other one, put it in, and go from there. There are reasons for that, and I believe they're mainly security, because what you don't want to have is the possibility of a man-in-the-middle attack. And it really happens, and where you notice it is if you have Ledger Live open and you have a connection there, and then you try to go use another wallet that uses the Ledger, close down Ledger Live, because sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. It shouldn't work if you made a connection between Ledger Live and your hardware wallet, and that connection is still there, because it should only be from point A to point B and never try to do a third type of connection. But nope, unplug them and do it one at a time and just do a new address. This is from Tracy. I bet a Wallet 101 course would sell fast for new people. You know what? We'll see about that. Time is freeing up for me because it's not as hectic as it used to be. So that's why you're going to probably see a few more videos, and I can do things like this because I really like this. Regarding, and this is from Sandra, regarding the Hbar, what email address do I send the info to, or just send it to the help button? Or is your email address listed? My email address is not listed. In fact, some people had it because I gave it out. Don't use it. I don't pay attention to it. I get so much junk mail there, and everybody in my life that I want to talk to, I text. Actually, I signal. And I miss things if it goes to my email, my personal email. Just use the help button down below, and that gets it into a ticketing system, and I can't ignore those. I have to go through each one of them, and that is the best place, because if I don't know an answer, or I have to take a little bit longer to answer something, it'll remain there instead of getting lost with the hundreds of emails that I get as notifications every day. And we are at the last one, and this is a way to end it. Thank you, Sandra. George, you are awesome, and I really appreciate all you do for us, and technical webinar is so helpful. Thank you, and a big virtual hug. Well, thank you, and Redeem. Enjoy every minute of tech mindset. You're most grounded, George, and truly appreciate your commitment and contribution to Binge members. Gratitude. Well, thank you guys. And I love doing this. And so I think we're gonna at least do it once a month, if not more, if time permits. And, you know, if you wanna know more about privacy, put it in, when I post this, just, you know, give me some feedback on that, because I'm really interested, and I know a few others are, but I don't know how much the group is really interested in really diving in and looking at privacy, because it's a lot of work, but I think it's well worth it. And there we have it. So everybody have a great rest of Saturday and an amazing weekend. See you next week. Thanks.